Tell everyone you're my bodyguard. Stand behind me. Don't speak. She murmured it without glancing at me. Adjusting her necklace, she studied her reflection and moved forward as though I were merely an accessory, not her husband. The embassy gala was a stage of polished deception. Crystal glasses chimed over hushed deals, diplomats smiled behind practiced masks, the kind of environment where my wife thrived. I stayed behind her exactly as she instructed, silent, invisible, diminished. She introduced herself to strangers, never us. Her laughter rang too loudly at the jokes of men who examined her like a signature they planned to copy. I remained motionless, hands clasped behind me, pretending not to notice how she flinched whenever a glance grazed me. Then the ambassador approached the podium. Lights dimmed, all eyes followed. Mid-sentence, he froze. His gaze landed on me. Past the tables, past the suits, past my wife. Silence swept the room like a tide. My apologies, he said, straightening abruptly. I just realized we have a very important guest tonight. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. My wife stiffened. The ambassador stepped down from the stage, walked directly to me, and saluted. Her breath caught. Her smile faltered. In that instant, I understood this evening wasn't about her. It was about a secret she assumed I would never uncover. My wife had perfected a persona, young political strategist, charity board member, an image forged from ambition and careful networking. To her, I was inconvenient. A husband with a quiet life, a modest career, and humility too glaring for her vanity. So, she reshaped me, recast me, transformed me into a prop, her bodyguard. It wasn't the first time she tried to shrink me to fit the life she imagined she deserved. The past year had been a slow unraveling, late-night meetings without explanation, phone calls taken in secret, new acquaintances I never met. I recognized the pattern, seen it in my parents' marriage, former colleagues, in stories people tell themselves before fleeing. She wasn't physically unfaithful. Her betrayal ran deeper, cleaner, harsher. She was ashamed of me. I started noticing the subtle changes. She used her maiden name again. Removed our photos from social media. Told colleagues I was busy when I stood right in the next room. But tonight, announcing to an entire diplomatic hall that I was her hired protector felt like the final erasure, a complete deletion of who I was. Yet, the ambassador's response didn't match her narrative. He didn't see a bodyguard. He saw something else, something she never questioned, never valued, never thought mattered. That's when doubt rooted itself. I didn't confront her that night. Confrontation hands power to those who don't deserve it. Instead, I watched quietly, strategically. On the drive home, she lectured me about posture, dress, blending in. Her voice clipped, irritated, as if my mere presence embarrassed her. She didn't ask why the ambassador had approached me, didn't inquire what he whispered afterward. You should visit more often, he murmured. Always welcome. My wife didn't hear that part. She never listened where it mattered. In the weeks that followed, I gathered evidence, emails sent from her laptop when she forgot to log out, calendar entries full of meetings with people she claimed not to know, messages veiled in condescension about me to colleagues. One line repeated, "He doesn't understand circles like these." Funny, I understood far more than she did. Then came an invitation from the ambassador addressed to me, not her, for a private embassy tour and consultation, stamped with significance she had never recognized. I accepted silently. My wife didn't notice the subtle shift in me, the slow cooling, the quiet tallying of the past, the recognition of her long-running manipulation. Her world revolved around perception. Mine was grounded in reality. Soon, hers would collide with mine. The ambassador wasted no time. "I knew your father," he said as he guided me through a secure wing. "Brilliant man. Your work in data analysis and research shaped policy years ago. Your paper on diplomatic infrastructure, it changed outcomes." I froze. My throat tightened, not from pride, but something darker. My wife had dismissed that work for years, called it a hobby, said it was too technical to matter. She never read a word. She didn't know I had once been shortlisted for an advisory role. Didn't know I had declined because she didn't want to move for instability. Didn't know I had been recommended again and again until she made me so small, I stopped looking up. The ambassador handed me a formal, sealed, stamped document, an offer for a senior advisory position. Not through her, not because of her, but because of me, my work she scorned, my value she never acknowledged. I exhaled slowly, controlled, quiet. He observed me. You never told her, he asked. No, he nodded, as if it confirmed what he already suspected. That night, I placed the offer on the table. Watched her read. Her face drained shock first, then fear, then something darker, recognition of her own blindness. Why didn't you tell me? She stammered. I didn't answer. Silence is a mirror, and this one made her flinch. You could have said something, she whispered. I didn't know you, I replied. A slight tilt of my head stopped her. I wasn't your bodyguard, I said softly. You were my limitation. Her knees wobbled. She clutched the counter. I remained still. This could change everything, she said desperately. Now we could know, I said. One word. Cold. Final. Accepted, without her. Her breath hitched, shallow, panicked. She understood then, not the job, not the honor, but the loss. She had spent years diminishing me, and now she stood in the shadow of what she tried to erase. I watched her break silently. No yelling, no closure, just truth. I moved out that night. No guilt. No backward glance. The embassy provided temporary housing. My new position offered a new life, merit, not manipulation. She called, texted, begged for a conversation she no longer had the right to request. I didn't respond, not out of cruelty, but clarity. She had spent years rewriting my worth. Now she could live with the version she created, the empty space where I used to stand. People think vindication is loud. It isn't. It's the quiet after you walk away, the echo they finally hear. In the end, she was right about one thing. I was never meant to stand behind her. I was meant to outgrow her. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe to Cheating Stories Insight World for more gripping stories.